Not everything that Flash does is worthy of TV. That's why the director decided to cut almost all of the scenes that didn't meet the TV standards. Fight scenes, CGI scenes, and a lot of funny scenes that they thought they erased from history. Or did they? Here are the Flash deleted scenes you never got to see. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Number 10. What would Killer Frost do? We're going to be starting off this list with a somewhat funny scene between Ralph Dibny and Caitlin Snow. In it, Dibny had to find some way to convince her to forget about the fears, so he used the best trick he knew. He compared her to Caitlin Snow and asked her to start thinking like her alter ego would. Immediately after hearing this, Caitlin got the bravery to jump straight into action, even if that's not what Ralph had in mind when he suggested she act like Killer Frost.
Whatever it takes.
That's right. So I think we create a diversion.
Number 9. Pied Piper's trick. This is a pretty amazing scene if you ask us, and we don't understand why they deleted it. In it, Pied Piper managed to escape from his cage by removing a small sonic bomb from his ear. He pulled the little thing out with agonized screams and then placed it on the glass door. In about 3 seconds, the bomb detonated as Piper turned away, so none of the glass would penetrate his skin. As soon as the bomb shattered the glass cage that they used to hold him inside, Pied Piper opened the door and made an exit like a gentleman. Seriously, you put in all of that work, so why not include it in the show? It's less than a minute long. Would it change the episode that much? Oh, and make sure you stick around until pick number 6. Barry is going to show you just how horny he can be, especially in the morning. Number 8. Some motherly advice. Before we talk about Barry and Cecile's warm conversation, don't forget to smash that like button. It keeps the almighty YouTube algorithm happy, and you keep getting these videos for free. This was one of the most heartwarming scenes from the entire movie, and it involved Cecile giving Barry some golden motherly advice. We're going to look straight past her screaming and shouting at the TV like a dude, and we're going to talk about her advice only. You see, Barry and Iris were so preoccupied with figuring out how to raise Nora that they completely forgot about their relationship. And that's when Cecile told Barry that many couples do that same mistake. They get too focused on the kids and they don't take care of their relationship. That's why she suggested Barry took Iris out on a date while she took care of Nora.
Off between Joe and I, and we don't know what it is, we go on a date. Reconnect with your wife.
Number 7. And some fatherly advice. This motherly advice would be nothing without some fatherly advice. This was the first season, so even though Joe was right, he was looking out for his stepson's best interest. When Barry failed to come to work on time, he told him to stop slacking off and to focus on his work and not let the past derail him. Even though he was wrong about Nora's death, he could never have known that happened. So, from his perspective, he was more than right. But Barry had his reasons.
I'm sorry I was late.
Really late?
Really late. Again, but I was in Starling City.
Number 6. Barry got a little handsy. This is the scene we talked about a few minutes ago. While Iris was struggling to make the perfect toast for breakfast and was scraping the burnt crust off the toast, Barry woke up and was hungry for something more than just scrambled eggs and toast. While she was cooking, he came from behind her, wrapped his arms around her body, and started speaking gently in her ear about he didn't care about some burnt bread. Iris tried to wiggle her way out of it and told Barry that he would be late for work, but he quickly reminded her that they have all the time in the world. He is a speedster after all.
Barry, you're gonna be late.
I'm a speedster.
Number 5. Barry Allen gets reinstated at the station. This scene was at the very beginning of season 5. Barry finally got his old job back as they handed him his badge and the keys. Plus, the guy told him about all the changes in Central City, like the resignation of the mayor and Joe leaving for vacation. Before finally leaving Barry to his work, they told him that they left a few unresolved cases on his desk. And we just know this Scarlet Speedster is going to resolve all of them in no time. If you want to see which CGI scene was supposed to make it to the show, then just keep on watching until the end.
Thing. We didn't fill your position while you were away, so there are a few cases waiting for you in your lab.
Number 4. Barry swore to keep a secret. And here's another awesome scene that we didn't get to see on the show. In it, Joe has just realized that Barry is in fact the Scarlet Speedster. He can't comprehend what has just happened, and the only thing he could think of is protecting his little girl. That's why he said to Barry not to tell Iris about any of his abilities, and Barry promised he wouldn't. At that moment, Iris came to ask them what had happened. Barry bit his lip and told that it was just some random villain fight they had to take care of. When Iris demanded he stop lying and tell her the truth, he just said he would never lie to her. Another one of his lies.
Something. I don't want you telling Iris about anything you can do. Any of it.
Number 3. Saving the Pooch. This is a minor scene, but we got to see what the CGI looks like before the final edit. Plus, there was a little puppy in the scene, so we had to keep it. Namely, the scene is from season 1, when Barry was still dating. When the girl he was out with stopped to get some cash from the ATM, Barry saw a little boy running after his dog down the street. No one paid any attention, but the Scarlet Speedster swooped in, grabbed the dog, and in seconds, the puppy was in the kid's arms. Barry was back where he was standing in less than a second, and his date gave him a juicy smooch on the mouth for waiting for her. Number 2. Wedding preparations. After they crashed Barry and Iris's wedding, the bride, in this case Iris, went completely nuts. This scene is what happened after that. And just for the record, we think they should have kept this one in the show. It is a brilliant example of why Barry and Iris are such a great couple. Anyways, the scene begins by Iris saying that she's sorry for the way she reacted, and Barry accepted the apology. But to show her that he's not going to let anyone stop them from having their perfect day, he managed to book a little place downtown where they could have their wedding. And this scene contained one of the best quotes from the entire show. It's when Barry looked at Iris and said, "We make our own luck," spoken like a true superhero.
We want. We can make this our own. Nothing's gonna stop us from having our perfect wedding.
Number 1. Nora and Barry's training. After Nora joined the Team Flash, she and Barry went out into a parking lot to get some speedster training in. Nora was stoked that she would get to train with the best speedster in the entire universe, who was also her dad. While she was giddy with excitement, the only thing Barry wanted to do was keep her safe. The exercise he proposed was immediately forgotten when this remote-controlled car started speeding towards them. The guy behind it? Why, it was Cisco Ramon. Nora immediately saved the passenger inside the car. She even removed the red boxes, which were supposed to be civilians. However, there's one civilian she didn't see. Ralph Dibny got hit by the speeding car, and they could have killed him if he wasn't so rubbery. Oh, and we also got to see what the show looks like without CGI, which is always a plus.
Aren't you forgetting?
Innocent bystanders?
On a related note, do you think they should have included that heartwarming scene between Barry and Cecile? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.